Well, hello, my beautiful Cancerians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading will tap into what's going on with you right now, how you're moving through this time period, and of course, how you're coming out the other side. Also, I've opened up a competition for 1 subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So let's get straight to it. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to know regarding their current circumstances? What are they going through at this time? Can you please show them the way? What do they need to be aware of? Well, the deck is getting very complicated right now, so perhaps you are going through some complicated emotions, something that perhaps you're dealing with by yourself at this moment in time, but we'll check that out. We got the 4 swords there. Yep, so in a period of respite and doing some deep thinking. We've got the Chariot card there as well, but it is in a resistance position, so some of you, that can indicate that some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck, okay? Now, this doesn't mean stuck in all areas of your life. It can be that you're stuck with a certain thought that keeps replaying in your mind, or perhaps there's something that you're trying to move on from, but every time that you're alone, it keeps coming to the forefront of your mind, and you're like, when will this stop? So let me just tap into this even further. We have the Empress energy there. We have the Queen of Wands energy. We have the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. A lot of 5s here, so this can indicate that you have been going through some challenge in some way. And we've got the Hangman. We've got the Moon energy. So I can feel those deep emotions with you, my beautiful Cancerian. Something private that you're going through. Perhaps you're ruminating on something at this time, praying for something that you feel is going to be challenging, but actually I feel you've worked really hard for this, whatever it is, and it will be given to you. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, I cannot ignore that there are 3 people in this reading, okay? But it can be aspects of self. So as this reading is all about you, I feel this is more aspects of self, but I will pull a card on it. But if you are dealing with, a group of people, perhaps, I feel there is this energy where you're having a bit of a glow up, but perhaps you're keeping it to yourself at this time in some area of your life because you feel that there is a person or people who perhaps they tend to self-sabotage or try to derail your happiness in some way. And I feel that they cause a lot of conflict and drama, and you're just trying to remove yourself from this situation because you're trying to step up in some area of your life and you feel that they do not support you. So this could be a family member, this could be a neighbor, this could be, someone that you used to be friends with. I feel like you're just trying to withdraw from drama right now. So that's coming out initially, but I feel there's more to this than that. I feel there's an energy here of you doing some deep soul searching within yourself, trying to secure your future for you and your family. You tend to give out a lot of yourself right now, and I feel that you've had to bring your A game in all areas of your life, and you're tired, you're exhausted, okay? So that's the main energy I'm getting, but I am getting the secondary energy about drama or conflict within some sort of close-knit group of people. So this can be like family. Doesn't have to be gender specific. There are three feminine energies here, though, but it doesn't have to be three feminine people in your life. It can be that, you know, there's a mature person or an older person, perhaps, and two people are of similar age, and you feel there's been a bit of a conflict, and perhaps words were said where there was a bit of a challenge. I feel there will be an olive branch in the future. So if you're trying to resolve this within yourself, I feel it's about honoring each other's differences, because the Five of Wands, this literally means that, you know, you can work together, but sometimes it's clumsy, or sometimes people are defensive, or, you know, they have a different way of doing something. So, for example, if you have a boss at work who's been micromanaging you, of course, this is not acceptable, but it can be that you are working with certain parameters and everybody has a valid input, but they just do things differently. And if you feel like you're constantly questioned, it could be that you challenge this person, or diplomatically open up a dialogue to say, look, how is it, you know, that I'm doing it this way, which is the way that I normally do it, but you want it done another way. Can you show me the way that you do it? Let's, you know, show each other the way we both do it very differently and see which one is the most efficient. You know, you could be finding a diplomatic way to find a solution on something there, but also it could be like a challenging neighbor. I feel it could be that you end up working together and honor that both of you have different lifestyles or different ways of living. So can you account for both and basically factor in a way to live in peace, as it were? So that's what I'm getting there right now. So if you're dealing with that, Four of Pentacles, you know, I feel this is more about you, though. This reading, I just wanted to clarify whether it's like three different people that you're dealing with, because sometimes all about you readings, especially with Cancerians, of course, and Scorpios, and I would say also Virgos, you know, it's like people outside of yourself. You're always giving so much of yourself, so it can be about other people. But the Four of Pentacles clarifies this is aspects of self. These are kind of like things that you may be thinking or holding on to, or trying to secure in your life right now. And this is about the long term. So it could be that you're thinking about your future right now, and it's thrown up a set of worries and perhaps some things that you just have on your mind right now, and you are trying to build a life of comfort for you and the people that you care about. So there may be people, you know, involved, but this Four of Pentacles tells me that this is about you being really practical in your life and trying to influence your life, and, you know, trying not to be closed off to what life has to offer, but also you holding on to things that you feel create a level of security and safety in your life. Okay, so I'm going to read the reading from that viewpoint, because your Four Swords, you know, you've got double four there, so lots of numerical synchronicity. Four Swords indicates a solitary energy. It does kind of indicate that, you know, you are deep in thought on something here, that perhaps you have taken some time out to heal from something. For some of you, this could be literal healing, that you've been through an unwellness or a procedure, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you're convalescing right now and you're just trying to get back to best. I see you having more vitality, more energy. I see you, you know, having you pay more attention to your health and actually being on optimum form when it comes to your health. That Queen of Pentacles is all about investment in health and the self. And of course, with that Five of Wands, it can indicate that it has been a challenge to get back to best, but with that Empress energy, it means that, you know, you're going to feel comfortable, and you are implementing self-care routines. And also, you know, you are noticing that perhaps for some of you, it could be that, you know, as we get older, certain things start to creak, for example. And it can be that, you know, you're just looking at like vitamins and, you know, different diets, for example, in order to make sure that you adhere to like the best health, optimum health energy there as well. So that's coming through. But I do see that if you are convalescing and healing, that I see that although, you know, you don't want to rush back into the fray of life, because there will be a setback if you rush back, I do see a lot of healing going on for you right now. But for some of you, this could be emotional healing is what I see, because that Four of Swords, it can be that, you know, you've been through a very difficult emotional experience and now you are processing what happened. It's almost like there is this meditation kind of energy where, you know, you're gaining greater clarity on something and your mind is sharper, you're understanding it from a different viewpoint. You've taken a break or removed yourself from this, because the Hangman is to withdraw. It's like to basically pause. Now, for some of you, it can be that you are changing something about yourself. It's an end of an old way of doing something, or it's releasing something that actually gives way to better times ahead. You know, I feel like you tend to sacrifice a lot of yourself for people in general. And I feel that for a long time, you may have forgotten about yourself or lost yourself in all of that caretaking for others, for example. And I feel right now with that Queen of Wands, a lot of you could be like pausing or like retreating briefly into self in order to have a glow up. You know, the Queen of Wands actually means you get a lot of attention. You're a very attractive person that, you know, a lot of you could be focused on your beauty routines right now. Maybe you neglected yourself for a little while, because that Four of Swords can indicate that, you know, you're coming back to self in some way. So with that Queen of Wands there, I definitely see that you are going to have more energy, more motivation. I feel like your creativity is returning, and I really get this tirelessness from you, where no matter how tired you have been, you still show up for yourself. You still show up for the people you really care about, but now you're trying to factor in a little bit more time for you. Okay, I mean, this card can actually mean a homemaker as well, you know, as well as a career person. So it's like you're doing it all and you're pretty much exhausted. So with that Four of Swords, it's like there is a time for busyness and creativity and passion and getting out there and being seen and doing all of the stuff and attracting new opportunities. You have a lot of power in your situation, whether you know it or not. But also, in order to be this energized and assertive and passionate and excited by life, there must be time for pause and reflection. And if you're constantly on the go, then of course you'll burn yourself out. And a lot of you may have experienced burnout, so that's why you're in a period of, you know, pause, reflection, but taking some necessary time out in order to regroup and re-energize in some way. Now, in this deeply reflective time, because these two cards, I mean, the Hangman puts himself on the tree of life. So this can be that you've had some experiences that made you feel like you're drifting right now, or it's like asked you to pause, and in silence comes wisdom. So sometimes a pause is necessary in life, and humans, because we're always taught to be on the go is to be successful, and you're always busy, that's success. But actually, we're a human being, not just a human doing. So I feel it's really important that when we do take a pause, or the universe gives us a moment in life where it feels like we're on autopilot, or it feels like nothing's happening, we're suspended, it is here that you discover yourself. You learn more about yourself, and you learn more about what you want, what you've been accepting, where you feel misunderstood. So this is where you can activate some sort of change. So never underestimate the power of pause. It is very important. And with this Hangman energy, there's a lot of bats there, so it can indicate that right now you're looking at who or what drains your energy. What is not good for you? What is an energy vampire in your life right now? Is it a person? Is it a circumstance? Is it a situation? Is it your cell phone, for example? You know, there can be certain things that we give a lot of our time to that drains our energy or wastes our time. Could be a person, could be a situation, as I mentioned. So with this Hangman energy, I feel like you are feeling like this transcendence where it's like you're taking stock of things right now. What raises you up? What drains your energy? What tears you down? And what supports you? It's like you're trying to factor out who or what deserves a place in your life right now, because there are people in this reading. So I feel this is about you and how you interact with people. But also I see a lot of you intending to basically power up in some way or be more in charge of your life. Okay, I mean, for some of you, this could literally be that you're being super creative in your spare time, and it could be that you launch a business. You know, with that Empress energy, it could be that you become an entrepreneur, be your own boss. And whilst it will be challenging, you'll probably work a little bit longer in terms of time, but you care more about it and you get more out of it, more reward. You know, the Queen of Pentacles is to multiply wealth, double your dough. So it could be that you are actually, you know, doing something creative right now, but you require no distractions. So you're looking at what makes you procrastinate or what distracts you and keeps you stuck in this cycle of repeat where you're like, okay, I'll do it, but I'll do it tomorrow, or I don't have time because I'll do it then. And it's like no more excuses, for example. Now, I'm not pointing the finger at you, my beautiful Cancerians. We all have periods in our life where we're super busy and we have so many things to do, and we always want to do something else that we have to put on the back burner for a while. But I do see you actually taking ownership of your time and getting round to it, whatever it is. Now, this reading is not really meant to be about things outside of yourself, like money or business or, you know, family. But these are all things that inform us. You know, these are all things that we think about. And you have very cerebral cards right at the beginning, deep in thought, reflecting on, you know, what you are happy doing, you know, what brings you joy, what reignites your passion for life. This is all about the lust for life, that sparkle, but also that sense of independence, joy, and spontaneity that perhaps you feel has been missing from your life for a while. So, you know, we do have the Empress energy. So it can be that you're thinking about aspects of self, especially if you're thinking about legacy or getting older, for example. That can really make us think about the time that we spent doing certain things, or maybe we think about the times we wasted our time. If we knew then what we know now, you know, we could all be further along in our life. That's something that sometimes we think about. And actually, that thinking can be a trap, because in the circumstances that you had, you made the choices that you enjoyed or felt benefited you at the time. So there is no point in lamenting the times that we feel like we, you know, wasted or spent in certain things. You know, for example, if you're in a high-level commitment with a person in the past that now you have broken up with, back then you may have spent like 6-7 hours in a coffee store talking to that person, or talking to them long into the night. Why? Because you love that person. You know, you engaged in discourse with that person and bonded with them on a different level. But unfortunately, the relationship may have broken up, disappointed you, let you down. We cannot look back on that period and say, I wasted my time, or I wish I'd never met that person, because actually that person was meant to teach you a lesson about boundaries and about bonding and about intimacy, and all of those things were informing you. They are experiences, and we must not like throw those experiences away because we feel frustrated in the now. So I'm not sure who needs to hear that or why that's coming up, but I have to honor what's coming up right now. I actually feel that you are someone who is having a glow up. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of knowledge to impart, but also I feel like right now you're looking at what you do have in terms of wisdom and knowledge, and how you can inform your life right now to get the best out of life that life has to offer. So I do see you being more passionate, reigniting your lust for life. And I also see, I just got to rearrange those cards because the 4 came first. I also see here with the Chariot card that some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck, okay? But you are about to increase progress, or you're about to transform or challenge something that has been difficult, and you're going to conquer it or overcome it in some way. The Chariot card is triumph. It is a dedication to something that you really care about, and it can present itself at first as an obstacle or something that perhaps has been challenging, especially since you've got a 5 of Swords there. These can be challenging thoughts that you're moving away from, thoughts about the past, especially as we get older, okay? For example, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, because we have such strong feminine energy here, and if you are someone who is perhaps going through the menopause, okay, it can be that you're going through a change in your life where everything is different. It's like life turned on a dime. Suddenly you're getting like very intense hot flushes. I mean, the red of this card can be heat. It can be like a fire-breathing dragon. It's so intense and you're battling away with that. And it can be that You know, you're trying to conquer that. You may have tried to do it naturally or seek a professional to try and help you, or you may be trying different things to try and limit that. For some of you, it can be that your body has changed in some way. And it doesn't have to be through menopause, for example. It can be if you're going through some sort of, hormonal fluctuation, or it could be that you've gone through an unwellness and it just feels like suddenly it's a challenge. And, there is this vitality about you, but then you've been challenged, or something that you were comfortable with at first, and now you're challenged. But I do see that you come out of that challenge. I do see that you learn to conquer whatever it is that you've been going through. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you're battling away on something, because the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, it's the battle with something, okay? But I actually like the Five of Wands because it does mean to brainstorm and find a solution, but also it means, everything is coming together as it should. In the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there are 5 figures who all have batons, wands, right? And they're actually creating a star. I just want to show you that card. And it's like, yeah, it can take time. It requires, people working together. And that's why I was picking up on a group of people who perhaps have been at conflict or challenged in some way, but I do see you working together in the future and olive branches being offered. But if this is something that you personally, my beautiful Cancerian, are going through, and you just feel like there's different compartments to your life right now that just don't feel like they're fitting, or it just feels like nothing's gelling right now, I do see in the future that everything is going to come together, okay? As you can see, these figures, they're all creating a star right there. And this figure has the final baton that should really go here, okay? But they're just trying to find a way to make it work because there's so many people involved in it. This figure is even wearing a shirt with polka dots on it. So it's like, yes, there's going to be challenge, but can you turn it around? Can you have fun with this? Polka dots are all about fun or enjoying the moment. So I really get this sense that whatever it is you're going through right now, it is all going to come together as it should, and you're going to feel really proud of yourself that you conquered something. And this could be something in your work. This could be something that, perhaps some of you are retiring, or, you're thinking about how challenging things may be in retirement. But once you've done your calculations and you get involved in it and make it happen, you're actually going to really enjoy your time, meet people from different walks than you. And I actually see that if you're looking for your soul tribe, because it could be that you're retiring, but your friends are not retiring at the same time, it can mean that you feel your pace is a little bit off and you're searching for your soul tribe. You're actually going to meet really important friends for your future in, activities or hobbies or whatever it is you do to spend your time. So I feel like you find your soul tribe. So that's coming through there as well. Now, the Chariot card and the Moon card, these are major arcanas, of course, and in the middle, there's the Five of Swords. So this can be that, you are a sign that is very deep, okay, deeply reflective, and you've been spending time alone in your head recently, and that can throw up some fears, especially when we think about the future, the uncertainty of the unknown. And with that Moon energy, especially with the Five of Swords, swords are all about the mind. So that can indicate that you've been under a lot of pressure recently, and maybe you've been worrying about something, but the Moon card can indicate that you're trying to bring your worries into perspective. And the Chariot card is like you're quietening the inner critic and moving on from challenging thoughts or challenging emotions. You're trying to conquer your emotions and realize that they are temporary. But also, the Five of Swords can be that you've had to have a difficult conversation with a person and you've had to be the bad person in their story. Sometimes by being honest and true, we have to give a person how we feel about something. And if it doesn't sit with how they feel, or if it doesn't, feel good or has the potential to not make them feel good, it could be that you're trying to find a diplomatic way to deliver a very truthful conversation about how you've been feeling about something for a long time. But I feel like you have to face that fear or face that conversation, and actually you will see that you strengthen a bond with a person because you gave them the truth and you didn't sugarcoat it, but at the same time you didn't, deliver it with carelessness. Okay, it's like you gave them the truth, but you actually didn't give them the truth to destroy them, as it were. You gave them the truth to benefit them so that they could see that perhaps something was amiss, or that something wasn't right, or that something perhaps could be transformed in a more positive way. So I'm just getting like swords are about communication, especially with the Five of Swords. It can be that you have to deliver some news to a person and they're not going to like to hear it. But the way you deliver it with grace and with care can actually, help them, because the Moon card can be a very compassionate card. It can be like there are ways of revealing something, and if you be like overly emotional about it, then sometimes we don't say what we truly want to say. But if you think about it and how to deliver it, you could be honest and true, and there can be emotions there as well. But there can also be logic, like, okay, I got to say this. This is how I've been feeling for some time, rather than let something fester and let it amplify to the point where it becomes volatile or combustible, okay, and causes an argument, for example. So some of you could be dealing with things like that right now, and I just feel with the Chariot card, you're conquering it. You're moving through this. You're overcoming something, and you will be triumphant. There is a positive change here. So if you do have to have a difficult conversation with a person, I feel like you're owning your truth. And that person's going to respect you more for delivering that truth, because they'd rather hear it than have you stay silent on it. Now, the majority of you, I feel you've been feeling a little bit like on autopilot for some time, and perhaps you may have felt like you're drifting or feeling a bit stuck, because the Chariot card in this position, in the resistance position at first, is actually really like a loss of direction. You may have goals, you know where you want to go, you are striving for something, but also I feel like you're looking at the meaning of it, like, why am I doing this? Or what does this mean to me? So some of you are searching for something more, like there's got to be more to this than this. So I'm just getting that energy, and you will discover that. And I feel with that Chariot card, suddenly your motivation returns. You're very disciplined. You're a very strong person. And I feel like you're committed to something, and you'll have more energy to be successful in it. A lot of you are also trying to build more in your confidence, which I see, really building. And I feel whatever it is you're also like hands-on working towards in life, I feel there are rewards, but it was hard won is what I see. And you should be really proud of yourself, because whatever it is you're trying to work towards, whether it's more money, whether it's a happier family unit or happier dynamics within your friendships, or, just more peace of mind without fear, because I see a lot of you removing yourself from fear. Five of Swords can be fear or anxiety or, challenges that you feel prepared for in the future, which can have us running on our nerves. So I feel a lot of you are actually conquering that within yourself and coming out the other side in a more positive fashion. And I feel there's nothing to worry about in the future here for you, because I see with that Five of Wands there, that the inner battle, it can be conquered. You're trying to accomplish something, and you'll find that you will overcome it, and you will be comforted by life. It's like the universe will step in and offer you something that you have been working hard to accomplish, and you'll be rewarded there as well. I mean, the Five of Swords in the resistance position is actually really positive. It can indicate that there's peace after trouble. It can also indicate if you caught someone out on something, you challenge them on that, and they can give you their rendition of what's gone down, and then you can decide whether you want to heal this rift or whether you want to decide to turn your back on it. Looking at the energy, I feel like you challenge it, but I feel like you have compassion and understanding, and you want to find a resolution, but only if they come at you with the truth, and of course with action and an olive branch. And I do see that happening in the future. So if you have been having some conflict with a person, I do see that it will be healed in the future there as well. Now, the Moon card can indicate that, you tend to look at the emotions that you're like, it's almost like you're focusing on your emotions at this time. You're a very sensitive person, but you may feel that there's something under the surface right now, or something that perhaps you're dealing with by yourself, because I get this private energy of your emotions feeling super sensitive, and almost sometimes, and again, don't shoot the messenger when I say this, it's like this inner battle, it can cause a bit of depression, and I'm not medically trained to talk about that. So some of you could actually be thinking about counseling, or actually have been going to a counselor regarding some level of trauma in your life that you've experienced. Now, of course, this may not resonate with everyone, so I feel this is an energy that's popping out right now that wants attention, shall we say. And it's not that you want attention, it feels that you're like healing some sort of trauma that perhaps has really put you in a state of hypervigilance, because these two cards are very sort of like hypervigilant. Like you feel that, you know, something could be repeated, or you feel insecure, or you feel unsure in a circumstance where you feel like you always have to be ready. These two figures are ready to battle. So you may feel, due to some sort of experience you had in the past, you are like cautious or ready, prepared for protecting yourself in some way. And I feel actually there's no perceived threat here. I actually feel like you're in a really secure position. So for example, if you feel like the economy is very volatile right now, you may feel that perhaps you need to be protecting your finances, which is always very savvy, but I don't see that you are going to have any issue with finances. I see that you are secure. You know, you work hard for your finances. I feel like this is a card that indicates your dedication will pay off, that you are practical and you always find a way, that you are capable of making more money, and that there will be excess money for you in the future as well. So this could be like a promotion or a bonus, a raise in some way, because you have the Empress energy and the Queen of Pentacles. Empress energy is always like promotion vibes, okay? But it can also be like entrepreneurial vibes, where you run your own business and you may be looking at the state of the economy right now and feeling the industry changing, and you're looking at perhaps redundancies across the board, or you're looking at closures of certain companies, for example, and it set you worrying. You know, it set you thinking. But I feel like you're a very creative person. I feel that some of you, I mean, you may be looking at business cutbacks yourself, but it's only because you're prioritizing what works and what's important for you. Doesn't mean that you are, you know, not doing well. It just means that you are actually focusing on what works and what will amplify your wealth at this time. Okay. Now, this is a very interesting reading, because the thoughts are like going all over the place. So it could be that this means you have a lot on your mind, and that, you know, you're battling away with so many different thoughts right now that it's time to spend a little bit more time alone, to sit with self and get clear on your thoughts and not let the thoughts overwhelm you, because that's what I do. I read energy and the thoughts are like jumping around a little bit. So it can indicate that you have had a lot on your mind, and you're focusing, of course, on all that you do is to benefit you and your family and your soul tribe, because you are a very generous person. You tend to always want to be there for people naturally. Not that you feel it's a chore, you're just naturally there for people. You're naturally a giver, you're a healer, okay? And a lot of people may come towards you for your time, your attention, and your healing, but I feel like you have to honor some boundaries and make sure that you have some time for self. I mean, the Moon card can indicate as well that, you know, you need to romance your life a little bit more. You may feel that you're stuck in responsibility mode, and that, you know, you want to open up your life to more experiences that bring you joy, bring you fun. So I do see that it's like you bringing the spark or the fireworks back into your life. I mean, for some of you, if you're single and you're looking for love, I definitely see here that you have people interested in you, whether you notice it or not, but there will be a choice for you in the future as to who you fall in love with. I feel, of course, as soon as you meet a person, you're going to know the right person for you, but I do see that you're very attractive and you're attracting a lot of attention, and there will be rivalry for your affection. I would say don't rush into the relationship, because I feel there is a person who you'll be interested in who actually is very fun to be with. Both of them are, but I feel one of them is really looking to settle down and the other is looking for fun. And you will know who that is because you are highly intuitive. But, you know, if you don't rush into things and you just pay close attention to the signs that each person is giving you, because sometimes humans are very complex. They don't say, you know, what they really mean. They show you with action. So a person could like whisper sweet nothings into your ear and say, you know what, I can't wait to get married to you, settle down, all of those things. And they're just saying it. They're just things. But there is a person who will say all those things, but also take action and mean all those things as well. And you are able to discern which is which, okay? So if you're looking for love and you're getting older, for example, you may feel that the options are slimmer, but I actually see here that you are going to attract a divine counterpart and there is love. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of that. But the Empress energy, let's bring it back to you. This is about nourishing yourself in a different way. And that's about taking out pressure. You know, a lot of these cards are pressure of the everyday, managing stress levels, cortisol levels, making sure that you know, honor your own needs first, not in a selfish way, but in a way that says, I can give the best of me when I'm giving the best to me in the first place. The cup of love always starts with the self first. So with that Empress energy, this is about you being a good friend, offering unconditional love, but also, you know, nurturing yourself. You're someone who is kind, who is caring. You care so much about the family, and you may actually have a family yourself, but I just get an energy, and what I mean by that is you may have children, for example, and that can be very chaotic sometimes. Each child is different, and you have to give different things to different children because they have different needs, for example. So I feel this is you looking at perhaps a very chaotic lifestyle that you feel like you're always on the go, and it's about carving out time for you so that you can actually do more things that you love. And I do see that you're going to get that time. I see a lot of you will return to something that you've put on the back burner, that you've been meaning to get round to doing, whatever that is. For some of you, it could be like cleaning out the closet, organizing the drawers, writing a book, painting, you know, whatever it is. I feel like you're going to get around to doing it because you are reshaping your time right now. And that Five of Wands is a card of honoring differences and basically the way that people do things differently. I feel like you can work together with challenging people, even in the family unit. But with the Empress energy and the Five of Wands, this could also be that you are approaching a challenging situation with a lot of clarity, with a position of power and grace, but also with experience. The Empress is experienced. She has had many encounters in life and learnt many lessons and retains those lessons in order to overcome any challenge so that she is secure. So these are aspects of self there for you. And I would say this is you brainstorming. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? I mean, the first card there has sunflowers, which means you're only going where you feel truly happy, and you're removing anything that hurts you or makes you feel uncertain. I mean, a lot of you are moving away from like clickbait online. If there's like a sentence that says, oh my gosh, the world is ending tomorrow, click here. I feel like you're removing yourself from that because you're protecting your inner peace, and you're going, no, that's a trick. I don't really want to connect to that because it just means that it's going to tell me a story that's about something super negative, and it's going to like trigger my cortisol levels to make me feel really like anxious. And I feel like you're not about that anymore. You're removing yourself from all of those things, and it's just going to bring more peace, okay? But I would say for some of you, you're getting clarity in a confusing situation, or, you know, you're dealing with a person or people who perhaps have made you question their actions or made you feel uncertain about the friendship, because I'm getting friendship mainly, but I feel the olive branch will be given, and all of you can conquer this difficult time and come together in union. But with that Queen of Pentacles as your final card, I would say this is about securing your future. It's about knowing that, you know, you have invested in your life, you value yourself, you've erected higher boundaries, and it means that, you know, You're someone who is creating an environment of stability for you and your family. But also, I just get this sense of you working with your resources, okay? You're someone who basically, you like being a homebody, but can you also have balance and spread time out, in nature, or perhaps doing exciting things, creative endeavors. Some of you will literally launch a business from your home space. But at Queen of Pentacles, it's like you're focused on investing in yourself and your health, as well as your family and their health as well. Health is wealth, so I feel a lot of you are focused on that at this time. But I see a lot of abundance in your future. These are two very prosperous, abundant cards, and the Chariot card indicates that you will make progress in areas that you focus on. And yes, it may have been challenging, but I feel like you are going to have a really positive outcome here, and reward is afoot for all of this effort. All of this brainstorming, all of this taking stock of your life and really knowing yourself and knowing what you want, and not spreading yourself too thin or wasting time on things that just don't interest you. I feel this is about being precise in your world. And this is where I feel, there is more contentment, more happiness. I feel like you're just like embracing all aspects of self, the passionate side, the more spontaneous, playful side, as well as the caring side, the unconditional love side, and of course the practical side. You may be trying like new recipes, for example. You may be revamping your wardrobe right now, or just wanting to do something different. Of course, some of you may also be resolving issues that you perhaps had with a matriarchal type figure, mother type figure there as well. It could be that I'm just getting this very complex energy coming out, that some of you, there may be like questions as to why a matriarchal figure did what they did, or conducted themselves how they conducted themselves. And it's like, as we age and have more knowledge, we realize that a big part of becoming an adult is unlearning or reprogramming toxic behaviors or certain choices, because they were taught to us by people who were also unhealed and maybe even were unaware of their patterns. We're all adults, we make choices, but it could be that you're trying to come to terms with something that you experienced from a matriarchal type figure. And there's a lot of conflict there, a lot of questions, and a lot of like trying to work things out. And in silence comes wisdom. So in those deep thoughts, you're realizing that they were working with a certain set of parameters or options that perhaps you don't have right now, or perhaps you understand better right now. And you are realizing that they tried to be their best in the circumstances that they had, and they fought away trying to make things work, but maybe they were conquered by their inner battle. Maybe the inner battle won for them, but you are not allowing that happening to you. You are conquering the inner battle yourself. So there's just a very complex energy coming out there finally, before I get some last cards there for you. And if you're dealing with that, I see that you resolve some of those things within yourself. And you realize that whilst these experiences shaped you, they no longer have weight or power over your future happiness. I feel like you're choosing you, okay? And it's freeing is what I see there as well. So we have whatever is hidden is coming to light. And I feel this is a lot of deep emotions for a lot of you. This is all coming to the surface. You're really like processing these things now. I mean, you don't have any super negative cards like someone has told you an untruth, but it could be two things that I'm getting right now. One is, someone harboring feelings that they have not been talking about, and now it's all out in the open, and it could have caused like a conflict or a resentment. I'm just getting that, it being sorted out. That's what's coming out here. So it could be a family dynamic or sibling rivalry, for example. Also, I feel deep within you, the message has been to be more curious, because we do have exploration and discovery. So I feel like you are rediscovering a part of yourself that you feel like has lain dormant, or you've lost touch with, or you're like rebirthing that sparkle is what I see there. Okay, so it could be that there are different aspects of you coming out. As you mature, you're starting to like not care about what other people think about you. There is a liberation in that. And now you're like exploring different aspects of yourself and you're being true to yourself. And some people may be surprised by that, but you're like, well, this is me. And we've also got the Black Moon. And it says, a lost opportunity is returning. So I do feel that something that perhaps you have put on the back burner, you will do it. You know, this is not a lost opportunity, but it's like an energy of better times returning for you. And it even says here, second chances, return, or reset button. And I feel a lot of you, it is this reset button that you perhaps feel like you've been going through. A transition period can make us feel a little bit lost, you know, when we have a reset. And you think about the butterfly in the chrysalis, you know, the caterpillar goes into that chrysalis in a different form. And the process changes that form. So you could have gone through a process that has completely changed you and opened you up to different aspects of self. And if you think about that caterpillar, it doesn't just go into that chrysalis and take a snooze and wake up with some wonderful wings. It actually dissolves its sense of self. The whole form of the caterpillar is jellified to the point where it surely would be feeling lost or, you know, uncertain about how the process is going to turn out. And suddenly it develops from this kind of dissolving of self into this beautiful butterfly. So I feel you have been going through an intense like transition period, and perhaps it has been a battle, but now you're conquering it. You're coming through this and you're going to be in a more empowered position. And of course, you're going to realize how beautiful you are, how attractive you are, both inside and out. But also, I feel like you're going to realize how much power you have in the situation to transform your circumstances and create security in that circumstance. And, you know, you're making the right choices and the right decisions is what I'm seeing there. So very complex reading. This reading may not resonate with everybody at all. I completely understand that, but I have to honor each card as it comes out and the energy that comes with it, and the fact that perhaps sometimes we do have several thoughts that jump around and we try to make a sense of the world that we're living in and how it's changing and how it feels really like highly pressurized, that we have to keep moving. And I feel like you're doing a great job. And if no one has told you that, I'm telling you that because I can see the cards and how you've battled away, that you are a warrior. And, you know, sometimes it's harder for you, my beautiful Cancerians, because you're so sensitive. You feel the emotions that go with it. You know, and some people are really great at cutting those emotions out and saying, I'm not feeling that, I can't go there. And some people actually pay counselors and therapists really good money to be able to access those emotions in order to process them. So I feel like you are processing something challenging and you are stronger because of it. And I feel like you're owning your time, your energy, and you really are making progress. If you don't feel like you are, you're going to see a measure of it come into your life with some really good things very, very soon. Very prosperous things there as well. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a ring before we close. Okay. Now, interesting, because that's twice my guide said, let go, let go. So perhaps one of the lessons you're learning as well is to let go. Okay, and to surrender to the process because of that hangman energy. But finally, we have, interesting, we have the birch rune, which is all about becoming, just like the butterfly, becoming. Okay, so you're going through a major transformative energy. And I mean, this rune can also connect to having some family conflict that is being resolved. It can be you moving through worries or problems as well. But I feel like you are becoming. And if you are a parent, you're a great parent. You know, there can be so many worries that goes along with being a parent, but I feel like you're doing a great job. And there's always going to be conflict because people are, you know, testing boundaries, they're working out who they are. So, you know, I feel you are going to come out of this testing time. I mean, this rune can also indicate that you're detoxifying, that you're looking at deep emotions, purifying, you know, you're conquering challenging thoughts, for example, challenging the inner critic and saying, no, I'm not going to tear myself down today. I'm going to celebrate myself today. I'm going to look at the world with a different viewpoint, different perspective. Because I see with that hangman, you are getting a different perspective. For some of you, this rune can literally be that you're launching a new business or a new way of life. And it's daunting because you're not sure how things are going to go. But I can see that actually there's a very positive outcome. Five of Wands, there's always going to be challenge. That's just life. okay? But it's not a challenge that you cannot conquer. Sometimes things are going to be clumsy in the way that they come together. But if we compartmentalize and say, okay, I need to prioritize this and I can focus on this later, everything will move according to your plan. And you won't feel overwhelmed. But if you feel you have to try and do everything all at once, then of course that's when you feel slightly overwhelmed, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Cancerians. I really do hope something resonates there for somebody out there. If you'd like to be with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is envisage the world in a golden healing light. And that's all I ask of you. If we do it collectively, we really can make a difference. And all you have to do after that is in the comments, just put an emoji of a world and a heart. And if you don't have access to emojis, then just write the words world and heart, and I'll enter everyone into a competition. The competition is actually coming to a close very soon, and I'll announce that winner in about a week and a half. So you still have time to enter if you haven't already. So thank you so much, my beautiful Cancerians, and love and light.